This is the OTO Biscuit. Bitcrusher, filter, delay, pitch shifting. It does so much. It's a lot of fun. Stick around. I'm going to show you how you can use this in your own productions. Hello Internet, Chris Cline here with Alma Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. And today we're going to look at UAD's faithful recreation plugin of the OTO Biscuit, which was originally a hardware device. But before I do that, I'd like to ask that you please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're going to be bringing you more content. We also have a guitar channel, piano, B&O, and all kinds of informative videos across all those different channels. So, if you're trying to make a better or more informed decision, hopefully we can help you out in one of those departments. So let's move forward and listen to and play with the OTO Biscuit. And so here we have OTO's Biscuit. This is a faithful plugin recreation from Universal Audio. It's part of the UAD suite of plugins. It does a little bit of everything. You have your Bitcrusher, you have filter, step filter, delay, pitch shifting, Waveshaper. It does so much. You can automate everything. You can get all kinds of cool crunchy sounds out of it. You can sync these sounds to or sync these effects to your DAW. There's so much you can do with it. To keep this simple, I only have a couple of different tracks that I use, and you probably heard those in the opening. I used my old Beatbot from Cyclone Analogic, which is a somewhat clone of the Roland CR78, as well as the Bassbot, which if you saw my video where I did a basic comparison of 3 different types of 303 clones, and two 303 clones, and then one original TB303. The Bassbot from Cyclone Analogic is my favorite of the lot. So that's what I use. So I have 2 instances here, one for the drum machine or the Beatbot or TT78, whatever you want to call it, and then one for the Bassbot, which is the 303. They are now they're both bypassed, but we're just going to start off with the drum machine. I want you to hear what this sounds like, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch this on, and I'm going to start playing with the parameters and walking you through it. So here we go. All right. So right here where it says clock, this is actually going to reduce our sample rate. So it is an 8-bit Bitcrusher, and we can actually turn off each of the bits, or we can invert them, which is a really, really unique parameter to explore. If we start to turn off the most significant bits, it gets really gnarly pretty fast, and I'm going to show you here right now. So let's go ahead and turn down right here where it says naked. Well, that would be our dry signal, or our unaffected signal. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back. So now we're just listening to our dressed signal. So here we go. And of course the clock, let's call it our clock filter, is turned all the way up. So we are not reducing our sample rate. Now this bit has been inverted, and I can turn it off altogether. So when it's red, the bit has been inverted. And as we turn off more of our least significant bits, you will notice it's going to start to kind of run away from me a little bit. And then everything is off. Now, as we start to remove some of these bits and we start to play with our clock, we get all kinds of great artifacts. And then we have our filter. It is a low pass filter, but we can also switch it to band pass. And high pass. So right there, we've explored bit crushing, reducing the sample rate, and the different filters. We've already done a lot. Again, it's incredibly powerful. But what does it sound like when we explore these different parameters with a bass synth? Or more importantly, a 303 or 303 clone. We're actually getting some vocal performance right here. Bring it all the way up. Let's play the different bits. Let's turn down naked. So once again, all of our bits are off, so we basically disabled the machine. Bandpass filter. High pass. Then of course, once again, the green is our low pass. Now we haven't even looked at the drive knob, so we can actually drive the input of the machine as well. So again, incredibly powerful, lots of fun, and then of course you can automate all these different parameters within your DAW. Now, let's look at the step filter. And as you can see here, we have all our different steps and we can manipulate these steps. And as I bring each step up or down, you will notice that I'm manipulating the frequency of that step. We can also manipulate the Q or the bandwidth, and as I do that, you will notice that this bar becomes a brighter green or a darker green when we decrease the Q. Right? So what does this sound like? Well, let's play back the drum machine. Change the number of steps. We can select the step here, or we can do it just by clicking on the step as well. And then we can change the speed. So it is synced to the DAW. Once again, there's no end to what we can do. Now, as I'm looking down here, we we have different parameters for each step. Once again, we have our frequency, we have what kind of filter it is, and we have the Q. And all these parameters can be changed. For those of you that don't understand what Q means, it's how much of the surrounding frequencies at the knee frequency, so in this case 9,455 hertz or cycles, how much is actually being affected around that, right? So we can tighten it up. By just adjusting the Q. And when I say tighten up, it's how much we're affecting, once again, around the knee frequency or the slope, or how many dB per octave, right? So the more dB per octave, the tighter it's going to be. Now, this is just a 1 through 10, so the best thing you can do is just use your ears to dial it in. Now, I also said we have a delay. So what does that sound like? Well, let's go ahead and turn it on. Once again, it's being synced to the DAW, but I can change the rhythm. Let's disengage it. And then I also mentioned the Waveshaper. Let's engage this. Now this can also get pretty gnarly really fast. And you can change the filter envelope right here as well, or the percentage of it. So it's really easy to completely change the feel and or the timbre of whatever it is you're trying to manipulate. For drums, and I've even used this on acoustic drums as well to great effect, or at least I thought it worked well. You can really stretch it far. It's just up to you and what you hear in your head and what you're trying to pull off. And it might take you places that you never even thought of. Let's bring our clock back up. So now we're listening to the 303 again. Completely mangled. I think being able to manipulate the individual bits is a gigantic bonus, and I don't know that I've ever seen that on anything else. And there are so many different bit crushing plugins, algorithms out there today that obviously I have not explored all of them, but this does so much for me. If 8 bits is too extreme, well, there's other plugins that I can use that can bring me back up to 12, 16, whatever bit depth I want. But as you can see, this is incredibly powerful. Let's listen to the pitch shifter while using the 303. So it's just kind of slightly detuning it right now. And how about the step filter? Now, there's a lot of manual filter writing, cutoff writing on the 303 that I did when I recorded this. So using the step filter or any type of filter might counteract some of that, or it might give you the desired effect that you're looking for. Now, as you can see, it's turned yellow because now we're using a bandpass filter on here. And then, of course, that becomes the high pass. And we can do that over here for the drums as well. And there you have it, the OTO Biscuit plugin, UAD plugin from Universal Audio. Lots of fun. Hope you enjoyed this. I got totally lost in this this morning, playing around with the audio. I hadn't done it in quite some time, and I'm glad to have rediscovered it. And hopefully it's something new for you, or this has given you some sort of better insight if you already own it, or has inspired you to jump back into it if you already own it and play with it some more. So with that being said, I will be back around here in the next few days. I could only imagine with some more content. Alamo Music Center in San Antonio. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please share your comments down below. Let's be nice to each other, civil. Share your own work. We want to hear what you're working on. We really, really do. Can't stress it enough. I'm going to keep on saying it until somebody does it. Hopefully it will help to better build and strengthen our electronic and audio communities. Once again, I'm going to say it again, over and over and over. Please be kind to each other. We need more of that in the world today. If you're living in one of the states that is being absolutely scorched by the heat right now, please stay hydrated, stay cool. Maybe it's an incentive to stay inside, create more content. I don't know, but we will be back. Chris Cline, Alamo Music Center. Thank you so much for sticking around. Bye-bye.